Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and this video right here is going to be a tough one, so I want to break everything down. And here is a real life picture of my grandparents, which never got the chance to actually retire, okay? And by the way, obviously something's wrong with this picture because it's not a real picture, okay? I found it on Google. They're not my real grandparents at all right? So everybody relax in the comments down below saying, who the fudge are these people? But no, my real grandpa is this guy right here. If you guys know him, comment down below. But nah, for real though, okay? You will probably never be able to retire. And if you guys say, well, Tommy, how do you know that? Or how is that possible? Because in reality, just look around you. Like, what does the average retiree actually look like in your area or in your circle? You know, when I was living in New York, a lot of people that I knew where they retired were basically, they were either, for example, living in a rent control place or in a home or had a part-time job. And a lot of them, if it wasn't Social Security or, for example, like insurance and all that stuff, a lot of them would be homeless. You know, so when you picture retirement and all this stuff, we are who we hang around with the most. So look around you and say, like, is this what I expect when it comes to no, by the way, I'm not dissing anybody here, but it is true. And you might say, Tommy, well, that's the old generation. You know, we have more opportunities today. However, though, when you think about it, here is a headline that basically says, hey, millennials make 20% less than baby boomers. So we earn less money than they do, plus we have more costs than they did also. So where the heck and how are we supposed to actually retire? And that is what this video is about. And not just saying like, we will not retire, but more like, hey, what are you supposed to do to actually retire? And obviously, one quick way to become a millionaire is going to be to wait until inflation hits and then just buy bread for $1 million, okay? I'm just kidding, obviously, okay? But I'll teach you everything I know in order to make sure you retire on time and everything is fine. Now, if you guys are new here, make sure to go ahead and basically subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified. And on top of that, also smash the like button if you plan on retiring. If you don't, that's fine, but I do want to retire, so I'm going to definitely smash the like button, okay? Now, the very first thing, guys, is obviously this, okay? The system is not built for retirement or, for example, for amassing wealth or accumulation of wealth. When we think about it, the system is built to have you spend money. And if you don't believe me, for example, really think about it, okay? People spend over $250 billion in America just for advertising. Heck, probably when watching this video right here, you probably got hit with an ad of somebody trying to sell you a product, trying to have you part with your hard-earned money. The whole system is made for you to basically be promoted to go ahead and buy all the things, spend your money. It's not about saving money, accumulating wealth. It's none of that. At least for right now, we have YouTubers promoting that stuff, but usually that's not what's going on. And if you guys don't believe me, well, think about your entire life, okay? A lot of us, by the time we're 24, 26, or even 30 years old, we graduate college or whatever. And we graduate, for example, with $37,000 in student loan debt, with like $6,000 or $10K in credit card debt, with the $20,000, $30,000 car notes, with all the debt possible. And now especially, we're being pushed to buy real estate like crazy. So now you have people that are like 24, 26 years old trying to buy a property, and they do, by the way, and they end up going in debt for like $200,000 or whatever it is, okay? The whole system is made for you to spend money. And what happens when you spend all this money and you basically sign up for this, sign up for that? Well, usually you have no money left over. And if all you have, for example, is a lot of expenses, well, where the heck do you actually go ahead and accumulate wealth? Where is your investments? Where are your savings? Where is your emergency account? Where's all this stuff? The answer is, it is non-existent. And that is what I'm trying to fix right here with this video. And hopefully by the end of it, you actually end up knowing exactly what to do. So if we know, for example, that the system is not working for us and we got to go against the system, well, how do we fix this whole thing, okay? The answer is, well, just knowing what to do isn't the cure. If it was, we would all be rich and also have his six-pack abs and all that other stuff, okay? So just knowing the truth is not the answer. And by the way, I know a lot of you think that basically having more money, winning the lottery, gamble, whatever it is going to give you everything you need for retirement or just for living a better life. However, that's not true. You know why? Because When you think about having $1 million in your bank accounts, in reality, that's just 50K over 20 years. It's not really as much money as you probably think it is. And if you don't think that way, you'll probably spend it in 1 year. That's why a lot of lottery winners, they go broke in the next like 3 to 10 years or whatever it is, okay? That's what happens. So more money is not necessarily going to be the solution. So what do? Well, if you want to retire, all you have to do is, well, number one, live in a box. Number two, instead of using clothes, just wear trash bags. Number three, instead of driving a real car, just drive a Hot Wheel. You know, I'm just joking, guys, okay? I'm joking here, but it is serious though. So what are you actually supposed to do if you want to retire? And by the way, again, this is simple. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's actually easy to put into action. Well, the first step is you got to know exactly how much money you'll actually need for retirement. Meaning you got to have, for example, a retirement budget. Now, I can't break everything down in this video. It'll be way too long, but I'll give you the basics here. And the idea is basically, you gotta tell yourself exactly how much money are you going to need per year for retirement. For me personally, with a family of 5, wife and then maybe like 3, 4 kids or whatever, I don't plan on needing, for example, more than $48,000 per year. Honestly, okay? That's my budget per year on retirement. Now, how do I find out how much money I'll need invested? The answer is very simple. Use the 4% rule. Well, all you want to do is basically divide the number you need or you want to spend every year, divided by 0.04. And that'll tell you exactly how much money you need in your investment account. In this case, I would need $1.2 million. That is the mathematics right there. So that would be your budget, okay? So that's why it's so important when you're setting these goals, really understand, really break down your budget. How much are you gonna spend on housing, on utilities, on groceries, transportation, all this stuff, vacation. Put everything in your budget and find out how much money you're going to need. And then use, for example, go on Google and type in savings goal calculator. I'll put a link down below. And the idea is you put the number in there and I'll tell you exactly how much money you need to invest to actually get to that goal on time, whether it's 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years. And by the way, I found out that the sweet spot for retirement is usually just 15 to 20 years. For some people that are crazy like me, you can do it in 10 years, but usually 15 years to 20 years is going to be more than enough time to actually go ahead and retire. So it is not 45 years, it is not 50 years, okay? That's not what we're trying to do here. Now, the second step is gonna be, obviously, we all know this, okay? This is why I'm saying knowing does not mean that's the cure. But we know for a fact we need to spend less than we actually make. That's the core idea. And if you get paid on Fridays and by Monday you have no money, it means you're money slave in reality because you just work for money and you make everybody else richer, but then before you know it, you got nothing to show for yourself. That's the whole concept. So what do? To basically get this under control, you need a budget, right? And you also need to give your money a job, right? That's basically it. It's very simple, but you need to create a budget. How much do I spend? How much do I have left over? What do I do with the rest of the money? That's the whole idea. And you want to separate your money. I separate my money in 6 accounts. You have emergencies, investments, debt payments, expenses, fun, and lastly, charity. Those are the jobs I give my money. So whatever money is left over, that's what I use that money for. And I put all that money separately. That way I don't mix it up. Initially, when I first started, I did envelopes to make it a lot more simple. Now, the third step is, guys, if you made mistakes, like you bought that car, you went to college, but basically you got finessed and you graduated with a degree you're not gonna use, but you still owe a lot of money in student loan debt, you gotta fix all those mistakes. If you have credit card debt, you gotta fix all that stuff, right? So that means you grab the extra money left over and you start paying all your debt except, for example, the mortgage, using, for example, the avalanche method, which basically means you pay the credit card or the debt with the highest APR. That's the goal. For some of you, it might take 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. It all depends on how big your mistakes actually are. And then once you're done with the debt, save for emergencies, 3 to 6 months for emergencies, and that's about it. And then after that, you start investing into your retirement accounts. Max out your retirement accounts, your 401k plans, your Roth IRAs, or your regular IRAs. You just max it out and you buy a home you can afford. Pay off the house early. By the way, the concept is, by the way, look this up, guys. Okay, I can't put everything in one video. I wish I could, but the whole idea is when you're buying a property, you want to buy it basically where it doesn't cost more than 33% of your monthly income on a 15-year mortgage. Look up, for example, on Google. Okay, look it up on YouTube. Look up on YouTube 4% rule, TommyBryson. That'll help you a lot. Also look up, for example, 33% rule, TommyBryson. Doesn't help you out also when it comes to buying a property. And also look up, for example, financial freedom, TommyBryson. And that video is going to give you the whole context when it comes to what do you invest into or this or that, right? But if you want to copy my investment portfolio, I have a link to Home and Finance. The link is down below. When you sign up, you get like $10, $20, $30. I don't really know, but you do get my investment portfolio, which is the most important thing. You can invest directly into it, into your Roth IRA account for retirement. And that's basically it when it comes to how to basically handle money correctly. And again, everything is down below in the description, but again, just because you know doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. It's still gonna take hard work and dedication. Now, before I go, guys, I do wanna answer some questions to make sure you guys actually prepare for this stuff. The answer is, if you're wondering, Tommy, how do I make my retirement amount like less so I don't have to pay that much money for it? The answer is, if you pay off your property early, like I recommend, it's gonna free you up a lot of money. So in reality, a lot of times when you say, well, I need $50,000 for retirement, almost a third of that goes, for example, towards housing expense, like shelter. So if you don't have a mortgage, well, you basically get to save, well, you only need around $35,000 for retirement. You don't need $50,000 because you're not gonna spend $15K on a mortgage or on rent or anything like that because you own your own property. So you go from basically needing, for example, 1.25 million to only needing, for example, again, around 875K. And by the way, this number is big, but when you're investing 10, 20% of your income over 10, 20, 30 years, the answer is this number is not that big. Number two, guys, retirement and working towards it and financial freedom doesn't have to be a crime or like a punishment. Make sure you're having fun while you're doing it, right? That means, for example, have a job that you actually like. Be happy with that job so that way you're not miserable, and just do it that way. So I love my job. When I retire, it's just the option to retire, but I'm not actually gonna retire. I'm not gonna stop working, right? That's the whole concept. And then lastly, last question here. The key to wealth, again, is not going to be investing into Charizard cards or having a lot of money in the bank. It's going to be having a good system, and also, for example, having income come in, right? Having passive income in. Because if you spend $30,000 per year, but you make $50,000 per year in passive income, the answer is you will never, ever, 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 ever run out of money. And that's what you want. You want to make sure you can't spend all the money you make because you make so much more money. That's the core concept. So you will never retire if you do exactly what our parents and our grandparents did, and you follow their same route or what the average person does. But if you follow this route, you should be able to retire, and that's the truth. You know, negativity sells, but the truth is that it is very possible, and I just showed you how. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, on top of that, also comment down below and let me know exactly what is your goal for retirement? How much money do you need? How much will it take? When do you want to retire by? Comment down below, let me know. On top of that, also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified. If you guys want to DM me on Instagram, TommyBryson. If you guys want to call me, schedule a free call. The link is down below on the TommyBryson channel. On top of that, also here is my another video here, and click my face right here. And as always, peace out.